Man, the DeAndre Baker idea is a really good one here in Frisco. Exclusive. As we reported first thing on Tuesday morning, kicking the tires on the idea of DeAndre Baker. Baker is 23 years old, first-round draft pick of the New York Giants just a year ago as the 30th overall pick. Did not play especially well in his first season, I don't think. Played 15 games, though. I mean, he's a rotation player for the Giants and a first-round guy, and a guy that the Mavericks had a second-round grade on in that draft. So they liked him just fine in that draft. Former Jim Thorpe winner at Georgia, an All-American at Georgia, 5'11", 190 pounds, and chances are he's got a future. He can play. But firearm, weaponry, trouble, accusations anyway, in Florida. And those disturbed the Giants enough that they released him outright. So he's a street free agent. Well, what's happened since the Giants' decision is, in the state of Florida, they've cleared Baker of these charges. He's free from the Giants, and he's free from the possibility of 10 years in prison, which was very real. That was very much on the shelf for him, on the possibilities for him. But he's escaped that. It is his position, and he stated it to one of the New York papers not long ago, I'm a good guy. I'm good in the locker room. I've never had any problems, behavioral problems, never been in any trouble. I'm innocent of this one. I got a bad rap here. I didn't do anything wrong. I'd love for the chance to prove it. So the New York Giants have basically already said, you know what? You can prove it someplace else. They have declined to be interested in giving him a second chance that he says he deserves, and a second chance that I would say teams need to examine. And give me your list. I know you're a little biased like I am. Give me your list of the team that not only, the franchise, that not only has a reputation for being willing to absorb theoretical problems, especially if they do their research, and a team that needs cornerback help. Let's go to the second chance Valley Ranch issue first. And the Cowboys aren't alone in this, and I'm not even suggesting they're as special as they think they are on this. But I give you the example of La'el Collins. A few years ago, La'el Collins is in the draft. He is viewed by almost everybody in the NFL as a first-round talent. Big and athletic and mean streak, but it seemed like a quality guy otherwise. Oh, but wait. A woman was found dead, maybe murdered, in Baton Rouge, the hometown of La'el Collins. Police interviewed La'el Collins about her death. And no, he was never a suspect in the death, but NFL people looked at that and said, boy, that doesn't look right at all. La'el Collins had a relationship of some sort with the late woman. Boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't think it was that kind of relationship, but relationship, yeah, some kind of relationship. But all he was an acquaintance of hers. And he had lots of acquaintances, and she had lots of acquaintances, and now she's dead. And police are kicking around La'el Collins and looking around and wondering if he had an involvement. That scares a bunch of teams off. What do the Cowboys do? I'm not exaggerating when I tell you they got boots on the ground. And a powerful NFL team can do this, especially if they're smart in the way they use their power. The Cowboys had law enforcement officials. They had lawyers. I half-jokingly say that, they've got friends in the FBI. All right, it's not a joke. They have friends in the FBI, and they had FBI people going down there and sniffing around. I'm saying police level, lawyer level, even military level, boots on the ground to investigate. Is La'el Collins in any way involved in the death, murder of that woman? Is La'el Collins in any way trouble that would cause us to not draft him? Well, a bunch of teams who didn't do their research on Collins came to the determination that, no, we don't want any part of that. The Cowboys' research told them he was simply acquainted with a woman who's now no longer with us. That's as deep as La'el Collins' involvement here goes. He had nothing to do with her passing, nothing, and was not deeply involved with her in any particular way. Now, it wasn't his girlfriend, it wasn't his wife, Nothing like that. So while the rest of the league said, no, we're too scared, the Cowboys waited, and then, as you recall, as an undrafted free agent, they didn't have to spend a pick on it. They brought La'el Collins and his mom to Jerry's Park City's mansion. They wined him, they dined him, they talked football, they impressed him, and La'el Collins decides, I want to be a Cowboy. Probably a regional advantage, too, and there's an America's team advantage that the Joneses are wise in trying to wield that as a lure and as a weapon, and it worked. And La'el Collins, of course, out for this year with the hip surgery, but La'el Collins is a very good player and has a very bright future and has a contract that demonstrates that the Cowboys think that is so as well. So now fast forward to DeAndre Baker. Georgia. Can the Cowboys get boots on the ground to research him? What does the scouting department think of him? What does the coaching staff know about him? What can front office people do to investigate? And this is one of those deals where trainers call trainers. Cowboys trainers will call the trainers at Georgia and the trainers with the Giants. Say, what's he like? How was he? Is he tough? Does he play through injuries? What's his attitude? They will do their research. Maybe their research will find that to use the parlance of my friend Peter King at Sports Illustrated, formerly of Sports Illustrated, maybe the Cowboys will discover he's a turd. But I bet you at worst they discover he's a turd who can play a little bit. And so we reported exclusive on Tuesday morning that the Cowboys are indeed looking into that situation and looking into what makes DeAndre Baker tick. What would be the cost of this? Nothing. You give up nothing to kick the tires on a player who, if he can play a little bit, now look at the situation with the Cowboys. Look at their secondary and start with the fact that their secondary is as much a reason as any, along with Dak Prescott's injury, that their record is 2-7. The secondary is poor. They invested a lot into this secondary a few years ago, and they haven't gotten a big return on it. They haven't gotten a big return on Chido Awuzie. They haven't gotten a big return on Jordan Lewis. Both of them have had their moments, but neither of them are prioritized as their contracts now run out after this year. There's no way the Cowboys are saying, well, we got to keep them. They will stay for not enough money, or they will go someplace else for more money, or maybe they'll both go someplace else for not enough money too. Xavier Woods, the safety, in the same boat. Cowboys very proud of themselves because they used a late-round draft pick and discovered Xavier Woods, and that's fine. They got value for the pick, but is Xavier Woods worthy of a big second contract? And I think the answer inside this building is going to be no. And so you will turn the page quite possibly on Jordan Lewis, turn the page on Chido Awuzie, maybe turn the page on Xavier Woods, and all of a sudden your secondary is completely remade. Anthony Brown does have a contract. He signed for a few years last offseason. Obviously, Diggs, the rookie cornerback, he's around, and they think he's got star potential. We could throw out the name of Donovan Wilson from Texas A&M, finally getting a chance to play and looking as good as any other safety that's played there this year, and they've tried about 5 of them, starting back with Clinton Dix. And so secondary is a place of desperate need. If DeAndre Baker was in next year's draft, assuming that you discover that, no, he's not any more difficult than the next guy. No, he's not a gun-toting troublemaker. That was a fluky situation. If you could establish that DeAndre Baker would once again be a late first, early second-round pick, and you can have him for free. So what I'm reporting that the Cowboys are doing is they're going to look at him for free first. And they'll do their research on him. Now, Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, was on 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday morning, and my boys Sean and RJ, prompted, of course, by our report, asked Jerry about DeAndre Baker, and Jerry kind of hemmed and hawed about it and said he wasn't going to go there. We always want to get better, but I'm not going to go there right now. Well, the reason is because Jerry had not yet been informed that this is an issue, and therefore maybe it's not. That suggests that Will McClay didn't go running down the hallway last night and saying, "Oh, Jerry, look what we've got here." Otherwise, that name would have been, as Jerry said, on the tip of his tongue, but that name's not on the tip of his tongue. Jerry is a different kind of general manager, obviously, who is not obliged to memorize everybody that the Giants drafted last year. But Will McClay knows the name. Stephen Jones knows the name. Mike McCarthy and Mike Nolan, they know the name. And those are the guys that would be kicking around the idea of moving the examination of DeAndre Baker into something even more accelerated. And if and when that happens, we will keep you posted here. Thank you so much for subscribing to what we do. I look at our analytics every once in a while. Again, it's not particularly my bag, but I don't know. Our analytics are like, we're up 1,000% or something this month in terms of viewership and minutes spent with us, time spent with us, and subscriptions as well. So if you're a member of Cowboy Nation that likes your information straight, no chaser, you've come to the right place. Please spread the word about what we do with our Cowboy coverage. We will be at the Star on Wednesday and Thursday. There'll be about 12 media members there, and we'll be among those. And then we'll be in Minnesota with the Cowboys over the course of the weekend. And we invite you via your subscription to the Fish Sports page, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, or the rest, and obviously our Fish Sports channel here. So thank you for subscribing. Spread the word.